There are lots of warnings in the Bible about anger. For example, Psalm 37 tells us do not give in to worry or anger because it only leads to trouble. We seem to live in a world where people are almost proud to be angry. They're proud to be fuming, outraged, or angry in some way, shape, or form. But when you look at anger, it doesn't do us any good at all. In fact, I was on an Australian government website while I was just surfing the other day, and I came across advice there about anger, and it said physical conditions. It said that anger leads to skin diseases. It can cause eczema. It causes insomnia. Well, we know that, don't we? Because if you've got something on your mind, you can't sleep. And often when you're angry, you play a scenario through, and it's usually another person, of course, and you think about what you're going to say to them or do to them when you see them. And usually you don't do anything or say anything. But in the meantime, you've lost all that sleep. Anger causes depression. It causes anxiety. And that was on a government website. Well, we know all those things anyway, maybe not the skin diseases, but what is happening is that our body is not behaving in the way that it should be, or we're not treating it in the way that it should be, and therefore these other things come as a result. High blood pressure is another one. That's what triggers off a lot of these other illnesses or diseases as well. We also know that anger causes us to make bad decisions. Back to that verse from Psalms. And when we're angry, we often say things that we regret later, and we most certainly do things that we come to live with the consequences of into the future. So anger is not good. Anger in any way, shape or form is not a positive emotion. People think that because you're angry, it shows that you care. You can care without being angry. I was just thinking, funnily enough, this morning of a charity, or the charity that my wife and I set up way back when we were younger, and I travelled to Africa a lot. I had a real desire and a vision for working in Africa. I went to numerous countries, from right on the north coast to the south coast and everywhere else in between, and the other extremities, east and west as well. And during that time, we raised over or more than £1 million, which went to things like an orphanage in Ghana, or a medical outreach team that worked in the villages in South Africa, other very practical projects as well. But during that time, during those years, not once were we motivated by anger. We were motivated by vision, desire, love, and compassion. So don't fall into the trap that anger is a good thing, that anger is what's needed to change things. You can change the world, or at least that part of it in which you live, without being angry at all. But most importantly, before we change the world, we have to change ourselves. And anger does not change anyone for the better. Why do we have anger management classes? Because it's not considered a good thing. Anger management classes aren't there to teach us how to become angry. They're actually there to teach us how to not become angry, to deal with those things that cause us to become angry and outraged and fuming and violent and whatever other emotions come our way. Don't believe for one moment that anger is a good thing. It isn't.